And, some people say deservedly so because he cheated. He had a beautiful family and he cheated and lost his.
And some people think that he deserves it since he cheated, lost his family, and had a lovely family. Karen and Wendy claim that this is only the beginning of the claims. This 39-count indictment now contains a list of them. Shirley Strawberry's life is becoming unmanageable. The beloved co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, Ernesto Williams, is officially bankrupt and forced to move from her opulent mansion to a modest rented apartment. But wait, don't listen to Shirley as she claims that she was a victim all along, having been married for 8 years, locked up 3 times in that time, and subjected to unspeakable abuse and manipulation for 6 of those years. Ernesto defrauded her and left her penniless. Now she is prepared to reveal every dark secret of their disastrous marriage, including shocking affairs and stolen identities. Shirley isn't holding anything back. Get ready for some mind-blowing disclosures that will leave you speechless. Go on, there's nothing wrong with that since that's how we learn from our mistakes and go on. Born in Chicago, Illinois, Shirley Strawberry is a well-known radio personality, actor, and author who has been a vital member of the Steve Harvey Morning Show since its launch in 2000. In 2013, Shirley's life took a seemingly positive turn when she met Ernesto Williams, the charming and seemingly successful businessman who swept her off her feet by 2015. Their whirlwind romance culminated in a heartfelt proposal on air, with Ernesto professing his love in a gesture that captivated Moo. Shirley's journey in the entertainment industry began long before she became a household name. Her early years in local radio stations paved the way for her eventual rise to fame alongside Steve Harvey. Her relatability, combined with her candid and frequently humorous takes on life's challenges, quickly endeared her to a vast audience. Listeners, for those of you who are paying attention, there is a man entering the room right now. He and Shirley were married in that same year, and Steve Harvey, Shirley's friend and coworker, escorted her down the aisle. It seemed like a fairy tale, at least that's what I have an affidavit for. His wife, however, is somewhat well known, so beneath the surface of their idyllic marriage, a darker reality was developing. As the story progresses, it becomes clear that Ernesto, who presented himself as a prosperous businessman and the proprietor of the well-known men's grooming company Ernesto Cuts, was concealing a web of lies. His charming exterior served as a front for his dishonest business dealings. A $1 million scam with numerous victims in a startling turn of events. Ernesto and his accomplice, Erica King, were detained in a high-profile fraud case last year. The charges against them were severe. This was all allegedly the result of a growth and coaching business. In addition to Shirley, Ernesto had defrauded many other victims, mostly women, out of over $750,000. More than a dozen of them had been conned out of $1 million. We are left wondering how someone so close to Shirley could deceive her for so long. People paid good money for their services, but walked away with nothing, according to the police, who say it was all a scam. 2 people have been arrested on multiple fraud charges. He used Shirley's celebrity status to gain their trust by promising to help them grow their businesses and achieve their dreams. The information about Ernesto's misdeeds is horrifying. Ernesto was charged with 39 counts of fraud, ranging from grand theft to forgery. He tricked his victims into believing he was starting a new business, and he used romantic relationships to further his schemes. He then used those relationships to steal money, vehicles, trailers, RVs, and other property from them. The discovery that Ernesto had even enlisted accomplices, such as Erica King, to pose as attorneys and misled law enforcement, added even more complexity to the already complicated case. Nobody anticipated the depth of the treachery of the times. In addition to committing financial deception, he was leading 2 separate lives. Leaked phone conversations between Ernesto and his mistresses, as well as between Ernesto and Shirley, painted a picture of a man who was both cunning and ruthless, and was married at the time that he married Shirley Strawberry in a single call. Shirley learned that Ernesto had several affairs, including with women he impregnated. As the trial went on, more shocking details surfaced. Ernesto's fraudulent marriage to Shirley was just another scheme to enhance his credibility. He had been married to another woman when he proposed to Shirley, rendering their union legally invalid. These revelations alarmed Shirley about Steve Harvey's wife, Marjorie, exposing tensions and insecurities that Ernesto exploited. Shirley, who had sincerely believed in their marriage, was devastated by this revelation. Court records also showed that Ernesto and King had been operating their scams for more than 10 years, with victims dispersed throughout several states. Ernesto appeared to be a respectable businessman, but he was actually stealing from people, using U.S. currency vehicles, and generally taking advantage of people. Following Menno's arrest, Shirley experienced immediate and devastating consequences. She filed for divorce in April 2022, although court records indicate they had been separated since March of that year. The emotional and financial toll on Shirley was significant. She went from living in an opulent mansion to a modest apartment, stripped of all of her belongings, and forced to start over. Her bankruptcy was made public, further humiliating her as Charlie's financial collapse revealed the full extent of Ernesto's deception. Insiders claim that in addition to emotionally defrauding her, he had wreaked havoc on her pocketbook. In one of the most devastating revelations, it was revealed that Ernesto had been embezzling money from Shirley for years, using her name and credit to accumulate expensive goods and properties without her knowledge. Ernesto even used her identity to obtain credit cards and loans, placing Shirley deeply in debt. "I'm not wealthy." Interestingly enough, as the authorities started to dismantle Ernesto's financial web, "I suppose she ought to be able to go get you some shoes now." Shirley was totally taken aback by the seizures of her valuables, which included her truck and her $200,000 wedding band. These items were taken back to assist in making amends to Ernesto's victims. It was as though she were living in a nightmare. "I'm running out of money, so I haven't gone to the mall or ordered any shoes, but I'm not sure if I can." Here's a transcript of Shirley and Ernesto's recorded phone conversation. You can feel how deeply shocked and betrayed she is. "What vehicle, incredulous?" Shirley answered Ernesto. "What do you mean, what truck? They took my truck to pay for your crimes." This exchange exemplifies as the narrative progresses, it becomes evident that Ernesto's actions were motivated by more than just financial gain. His numerous affairs, including those with women he had impregnated, added another layer of betrayal to the already surreal situation, which left Shirley struggling to understand the full extent of the deception she had been subjected to. The efforts of a private investigator who unearthed a number of startling facts about Ernesto's double life helped Shirley uncover these infidelity. Could it be that Ernesto's entire relationship with Shirley was a carefully crafted front to further his illegal endeavors, that Ernest Williams is a con man? Shirley was subjected to emotional manipulation for a considerable amount of time, as revealed by